Alright, the new developer update for Dead by Daylight just dropped, and I've gotten so many messages in my DMs, comments on my videos, telling me to go over this update. Apparently, they made some pretty crazy changes. They switched up the meta a lot. They're nerfing some things, they're buffing some things. It's crazy! I've gotten a ton of messages from killers, very displeased with some of the things they're changing in regards to gen regression, so I'm curious to see what they changed, so let's go over it. Alright, so the first change is to Chucky. They decreased his hidey ho cooldown to 12 seconds from 18 seconds, but he can only scamper while performing the slice and dice attack. And they decreased the time it takes to scamper from 1.4 seconds to 1.3 seconds, which isn't really like a big difference. So what I'm seeing here is basically Chucky can't get a guaranteed hit when he scampers, but he can now use hidey ho more often. I like this change. I think this is a good change. Going against Chucky and just having him get that guaranteed hit whenever he scampers, it felt bad. Like it just didn't feel good as Survivor to go against. I didn't enjoy it. I don't think anybody really enjoys like cheap guaranteed hits, which that basically was. I actually like this change, and a lot of people have been complaining about the guaranteed hits with scampers. So it seems like, you know, maybe they listen, who knows? But yeah, I'm glad they addressed that. But you do get to use hidey ho more often, which is also, that's a plus. I mean, it's cool. The next change is to Bubba, and basically he got an all-around buff. I mean, he is just better. He got a buff. He's just a better killer. They basically made what some of his add-ons that you basically needed to run with him base kit. So now you have a little more leniency with which add-ons you can run. You don't have to just run certain add-ons now to make him viable. This is a good change. Yeah, they buffed Bubba. I mean, hey, that's good. I mean, he's an older killer, but he's still getting some attention. There's nothing to complain about here at all. I mean, yeah, it's good to see. The stronger they make these other killers that can't quite thrive at higher MMR, the less you're gonna see killers like Nurse and Blight and Spirit all the time at the higher MMR. So that's a good thing. I think this is good for everybody. The next change is to Deathslinger, which it seems like it's just another all-around buff. I mean, it decreased the stun time when a survivor breaks free to 2.7. It was 3. Increased the reel speed. Increased the movement speed while reloading by a pretty significant amount, actually. That's good. That's actually going to be like a pretty noticeable change for the Deathslinger mains out there. Like, y'all are going to actually feel that. You know, I think even people that play him casually may actually notice this change. See, a lot of these changes, the casual players won't really notice them. You know, only the people that like main certain killers may notice these certain changes, but I feel like you're like someone that just plays Deathslinger casually like me. I feel like I will know, I'll feel this change while playing him. But overall, this is good. They buffed Deathslinger. Once again, another killer that may struggle at a higher MMR, getting a buff so he can be a little more viable. I think this is a good thing. I think this is all good. And it helps provide more variety at higher levels for survivors, which I think is a good thing. Less nurses, less blights, less spirits, less all of that. So it looks like we got a change to everybody's favorite, Wesker. Decreased the hindered penalty from infection to 4% was 8%. And infection is now reduced to 1% when hooked it was 50%. Right, so I guess that's interesting, okay. Yeah, so that can address like the tunneling situations, because a lot of Weskers do like to tunnel, and tunneling with him is very effective due to this infection and due to the hindrance. I like this change, actually. I like this change. Look, when I'm getting chased by a Wesker and he gets, you know, his tentacle hit or whatever with me, basically, if he's a bad killer or not, if he's terrible at looping or not, as when that infection maxes out and I have that 8% hindrance, there's like nothing you can really do, especially if like you're already in the middle of the chase. You can't, it's really difficult to like cleanse in the middle of the chase, and you're basically just running around with 8% hindrance. I mean, 4%, it helps him, you know, like, yeah, no, this is good. It basically just has like what, bloodlust. I mean, that's not bad. I don't think this is bad because it actually leaves room for some counterplay for survivors when that infection gets maxed out. And it's still like rewarding enough to infect people. I mean, it's not as rewarding, obviously, but it is still worth infecting them, and you know, they can get one-shotted or whatever. I mean, yo, that's good. I like this. This is pretty good. So far, I like these changes. I'm not seeing what all the fuss is about quite yet. I think it's with these perks, though. That's primarily, you know, what people are complaining about. But so far, so good. I actually like this. I would go against multiple Weskers and, you know, I'd be looping them, doing my thing, but let's say they infect me at some point in the match and I haven't cleansed it yet and it maxes out. I mean, there's just like nothing I can do. Like, even if the Wesker's trash, he's just going to catch up way too easily. And I feel like there's no room for counterplay. And I like when survivors can counterplay me, and I like when I can counterplay killers as survivors. So I like that. I enjoy this. This is good so far. Blight got a, let's see. Oh, so he got nerfed. Hey man, I'm not gonna complain. I'm never gonna complain if Nurse or Blight get nerfed. These killers are obviously broken. Like, they're overpowered. They are bad for the game. I don't care what anybody says. If you're a Nurse main or Blight main, sorry, but these killers are ruining the game. They're way up here. And that's a problem, alright? Because then what behavior does is they start nerfing other things for killers and perks and stuff like that with these killers in mind. But they're not thinking about the Freddy mains and stuff like that, you know, the Myers mains, etc. They're thinking about like, oh, these perks are busted with Blight, busted with Nurse, busted with Spirit, so they're nerfing them because of these killers using it. So if the more they nerf these killers, the less they're gonna have to do tinker and tamper and nerf perks, which are going to hurt the weaker killers ultimately. So, yeah, no, this is good. This is good. Well, these are his Eerie add-ons, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. I don't really play Blight. I probably have like 14 matches total with Blight, dude. But, any nerf to Blight is a good thing to me, dude. So, hey. I mean, it's not like it's going to be difficult to win with him. I mean, base kit Blight is pretty cracked alone without the perks. So, I mean, yeah, good, cool. Let's see, toolboxes. Increase toolbox sabotage speed across most variants. Increase effects of sabotage related add-ons. Interesting. Wow, okay. So we're gonna see a lot more sabotage. Was anyone complaining that it was like that sabotaging needed to be buffed though? I mean, I feel like it's sabotaging is like a good place. You bring a good enough toolbox with good enough add-ons and you just make it happen, dude. You got Saboteur. I mean, you got like all type. I mean, okay. I mean, that's just a weird change. Like, it's just like something I don't feel like that needed to be changed. I feel like it was in a good spot. And I feel like when it comes to this game, we shouldn't be touching things that are in a good spot, because then things start really getting out of hand and then we create more issues. Was anybody complaining that sabotaging was too weak at the moment? Like, was anyone complain? Like, where did they get the idea that like this needed to happen? Yeah, like repair item, toolbox. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who that's for, but okay, I guess. So expect more sabotages, I guess. Maybe this is to like stop people from running flashlights so often, or stop people from just running like gen rush toolboxes so often. They're trying to make sabotaging more viable to try to like, I don't, but like, wouldn't you just want to like nerf those? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I will have to see. This could be a good thing. I don't know. But so far, I'm liking everything I see. I'm liking everything I'm seeing so far. But let's get into the perks, because this is where people really threw a fit. All right. Decreased the block duration to, okay, so 5 seconds each. So they decreased the block duration by 5 seconds for Deadlock. Who was complaining about Deadlock? I'm sorry. What? Does anybody... Wait, I'm not understanding why... Wait. I don't understand. Why? I mean, it's not like this is a big change, but... Why? Like, it's like... It feels really unnecessary. Was anybody throwing a tantrum about the state of Deadlock right now? I feel like that's like... Just it's just a decent perk. Like, this, you know what this is? This is a case of they looked at the pick rate, they saw Deadlock is a very popular perk, and they're like, okay, we gotta nerf it. Like, no, this perk didn't need to be touched. This perk was fine. This perk was totally fine. You can still get easily gen rushed with Deadlock. Like, they can still knock generators out the freaking park, even if you have Deadlock, trust me. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't, okay. I mean, 5 seconds, like, it's not the biggest deal, but like, if it's not a big deal, then why change it in the first place? Like, if you're only going to change it like that, like, just like, why touch it? Whatever, dude. Okay. Decrease movement speed bonus to, okay, so by 50% for a background player. Finally, they do something to this annoying ass. Oh, wait a minute, though. Wait, oh, wait, whoa, but you can, wait, 20 seconds knocked off. For only a 50%, speed penalty basic. Wait, what? This is basically a buff. Are you shitting me? I'm really just not understanding this one at all. So it's like, sure, okay, 50% of the speed got knocked off, but 150 is still really goddamn fast. And they got 20 seconds knocked off of the time that they can use it. Bro, people could just use this shit the whole freaking match practically then. What? What? Bro, behavior has to put the crack pipe down. This shit is not making sense. I consider this a buff to background player. Honestly, I consider this a buff. Hey, maybe it feels better in game. I have yet to play with this, so I don't know, but reading it, you know, like on paper, this looks like a buff to me. Yeah, I feel like this is a buff. This is a fair trade-off, like a more than fair trade-off. This is a good trade. Like, you're getting the good end of the bargain here, in my opinion. I mean, you're getting minus 50% speed, but you're also getting minus 20 seconds of the time it takes to be able to use it. I mean, that's good. All right, so background player got buffed. Okay. Grim Embrace. And yeah, and background player buff paired with the toolbox change. Yeah, I definitely expect more sabotages, dude. Grim Embrace decreased the block duration to they decreased it by 2 seconds. What's the point? I'm not understanding. Wait, why? But why? Like, what is even the difference between 12 and 2? I mean, look, what's the point, brother? Are you Grim Embrace is in a perfect spot right now, in my opinion. Are you kidding me? This is a totally fair perk to me. I don't understand. Like, what they're doing is they're gonna make it so killers don't have to just run one of these, but they're gonna have to stack multiple gen regression because they're buffing all the gen regression. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can bring just Deadlock and be basically fine right now. You know what I mean? But now, since they're nerfing this shit, people may start bringing Deadlock and Scarchoke. They might start bringing Deadlock and Pop. You know, when before they just needed to run one. But they're like, but the changes aren't even significant. They're just weird. It's like, why are you changing? Like, 2 second difference. Why? Like, why even touch it then? Why touch it then? Why? I don't, who was crying about Grim Embrace, bro? Which crybaby bitch boy was adding behavior every morning to cry about Grim Embrace and Deadlock? What are you talking about? Decisive Strike. Okay, so it's in the middle now, between 3 and 5 seconds. They met us in the middle and gave us 4. Okay, you know, sure. Okay, I mean, it's like, are we even gonna notice that? Sure. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's cool. I don't. Decisive Strike doesn't really, like, I don't know, bro. Like, the idea of Decisive Strike as a whole is my problem. You know, I don't give a shit about the time at this point. I don't care anymore. I just don't like the perk. So, yeah, 4 seconds. I'll take it, dude. It's 1 less second than 5. Hell, I'll take it. Pop Goes the Weasel got a big nerf. Holy shit. Decreased the regression effect to 20% from 30. Who was crying about Pop? This is like the most viable gen regression. I mean, was anybody complaining about this shit? Or are they just looking at pick rates? I'm confused. Like, are they just looking at pick rates? I didn't feel like there was a problem with Pop. I mean, okay. No, it was good. Okay, no. Pop was a pretty good perk. It was a pretty good perk. But once again, I feel like we're in this situation where, okay, if they nerf this, then it's not good enough to stand alone. So killers can bring other perks, like another 3 perks. Now, okay, so Pop isn't good enough to bring just as like its own gen regression. So now killers are going to start bringing other gen regression perks. And then we're going to start seeing just like full gen regression builds, which are just the most unfun thing to go against. You know what I mean? And hey, I don't really use Pop. I don't really use Grim Embrace. I don't really use Deadlock. Like, if I have to pick between these 3 perks, I'm probably using Deadlock just because it's a chill perk, you know? But overall, I barely use these perks. I barely even bring perks, you know? And when I do bring perks, I bring weird shit, dude. I'm bringing, like, Blood Favor and Brutal Strike. Like, I'm just bringing, like, random stuff. This doesn't really affect me, but it doesn't need to affect me to, like, you know, recognize that, like, this is not, like, the best change. I feel the game is based around bringing at least 1 gen regression perk. Like, I think we can all agree Dead by Daylight is balanced around killers bringing at least 1 gen regression, right? But I feel like killers do need to start getting a little more used to not bringing gem regression. Because I'm not going to lie, I see a lot of people saying, oh, I didn't win because I didn't bring enough gem regression. You made a lot of mistakes. I bet if I review your match, I can point out at least 6 mistakes you made throughout that match that you just can't blame on your lack of gen regression. A lot of times it is just a skill issue, and your overuse of gen regression is compensating for your lack of skill. That's what I see most of the time. A lot of these matches are very winnable with no gen regression if you just have the fundamentals down and you have good gen rotations, etc. But there are instances against like really coordinated 4-man swifts that brought really good shit, you know what I mean? Or that if there's a 4-man swift and they're just really good, even without broken shit, they can still get you up out of there pretty easily if you're a weaker killer, if you're playing Freddy or something. So that you know, that just hurts. But yeah, let's see, Buckle Up. Buckle Up no longer provides insurance. Thank God! Jesus, this perk was so freaking busted paired with For the People. Holy shit, about goddamn time. Survivors healed from the dying state, break into a sprint at 150. Okay. Okay, no, that's not. Okay, so, yeah, no one's gonna use this perk anymore. No one's using this shit. Yeah, this perk's dead. Hey, man, I don't really care, though. This perk was busted for way too long, and it was annoying as shit. We may still see people bring this, but I really, really doubt it. But For the People Buckle Up was one of the worst things in the game. Hands down. Even when I played Survivor, if I saw my teammates using For the People Buckle Up combo, I'm just like, okay, so we won. Like, that's just, yeah, and most of the time, we do win, because they just use it the whole freaking game. Scourge Hook, Pain Res, decreased the regression by 5%. But why? These are such weird changes to these gen regression perks. I mean, they're not like huge hits. I mean, no, Pop is a huge hit. But like, these aren't huge hits, but like, why? I feel like these perks were in good places. You know, like, they were all perfectly good enough to bring on their own. But now I feel like they're kind of not, in a way. And now we're going to see people really stacking more gen regression. Not me. I don't bring gen regression most of the time. Like, I think 80%, 90% of my matches played, I don't bring gen regression, dude. But Scourge Hook Pain Resonance is already kind of a bullshit perk, in my opinion. I mean, yes, you can get good RNG, but it's very RNG based. I mean, most of my matches, when I bring this, y'all can look through my videos, I'll end the match with still like 3 or 2 tokens left, because you could just like get no value from this perk. So it's already very luck based. You know what I mean? So you might already not get value, but now you're going to get 5% less value on top of what you were already not getting potentially. What's the point? I don't understand, like, who was complaining about the current state of Pain Res? Who was doing that? Point to me the crybaby survivor on Twitter who is adding behavior every morning crying about Pain Res. Who is this guy, bro? I want to watch him play and see how good he is at the game, because this perk was not broken. You only get 4 freaking tokens of it anyways, and you'll likely, and that's only if you go for 4 different people, like hooking them like on their own, which most killers already can't do without losing the game before they get to their 4th token. I mean, like, this perk was perfectly balanced. It already got a huge nerf, and it was still in a good place. Why are we nerfing it? What is the point? And here's the thing is, this perk can be busted if you bring it with Nurse or Blight. But this perk is not like that game changing if you bring it with Trapper. I mean, like, it's not going to feel that oppressive for the survivors. So what this ultimately hurts is lower tier killers. You know what I mean? Because, like, I feel like they're nerfing these perks either because of high pick rates, which doesn't make sense to me, because the context matters. You know what I mean? But instead, like, they're instead of nerfing the killers that need to be nerfed and buffing the killers that need to be buffed, they're nerfing perks, which is just going to hurt the weaker killers every time. Because you have the best killers in the game are like right here, and the weakest killers in the game are like right here, like Freddy, like Nurse Freddy, right? And then what you need to do is you need to kind of close this gap. There should be still stronger and weaker killers, but it should be like right here, at least like this area where there's still stronger killers, there's still weaker killers, but the gap isn't like this. You know what I mean? And once you get it like that, then you start tweaking the perks, because it's a more balanced experience overall. Do you see what I'm saying? But like, this isn't the answer. this isn't the answer at all, because this just sucks. I mean, like, I don't, this, it's just dumb. I don't get it. Because let's be honest, Pain Res on Blight feels terrible. It's like, bro, how are we going to win this shit? Especially, like, if you're a solo queue and you got a Blight with Pain Res, pairing it with Grim Embrace, etc., you're like, bro, there's no way. Like, there's no shot. Just like throwing the white flag. But if you get Freddy and he brought Pain Res and like this, that, and the third, you're like, easy win. You know what I mean? Like, these perks don't hit the same on each killer. So, I mean, like, Freddy's are, I mean, like, these weaker killers are already weak enough, and this just hurts them more. And now it just results in you seeing less variety in the game. This is why everyone is always on about, bro, every match feels the same, because every match is the same. That's the thing, bro. People run the same shit on the same killers and the same perks on the same survivors every single goddamn match, and you're basically playing the same match over and over. That's why it feels so stale at the moment. Okay. Invocation, Weaving Spiders. This was basically a meme perk. Decreased invocation time to 60 seconds. It was 120. Holy shit. Invocation progress now regressed at a rate of 1 charge per second. It was 20. Holy shit. This is a huge buff. What? Wait, why would someone on a team not bring this at this point? Are you kidding me? This is really good. 60 seconds, and then it can be increased if more people join in, or like, wait, this is really good. This is an amazing perk. What are you talking about? How much progress does this put on the generators? Like 10% or something? Isn't it like a brand new part or something? It's like having a brand new part on all the gens? Wait, this is a really good perk. What the hell? Okay, so this perk is really good, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's a really good perk now. Oh shit, they changed Borgo. Damn. Thank fucking God. This perk, I mean, this map was miserable. Jesus, dude. Like, the scratch marks and everything were so hard to see on this map. Finally, okay. The loops still are, like, completely brain dead and garbage. But, hey, at least the lighting is better now, so that's fun. Item previews. Alright, so this is just for new players. It's just gonna, like, tell them what the item does. That's good. That's good. And that's it. Wow, okay. So that's the update. Overall, I mean, we had a really good start, dude. Like, they really had us in the first quarter, huh? And then they just, like, shat on our chest. Jesus Christ. Like, they got me all excited just to, like, step on my balls. Jesus. Like, what are these changes to these gem regression perks? I mean, like, I don't really see what all the fuss is about. They're not huge changes, you know what I mean? Like, bro, the difference, a 5% difference on Scourge Hook Pain Res is not gonna, like, mean the difference between you winning or losing that game, bro. If you were gonna lose that match, you were gonna lose it anyways, whether you had a 5% increase or not. But then at that point, it's like, okay, cool. So if it's not making a difference, why are we changing it? You know, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Who was crying about these perks? I mean, Pop got toasted, dude. Like, you're not just bringing Pop anymore. You're going to stack it with another Gen Regression perk now. Let's be honest. That's what's going to happen here. So, you know, expect more, you survivors out there that are having, you know, rejoicing and celebrating all these Gen Regression perks being nerfed. I do hope you know that, it's like a double-edged sword, because you're just gonna get killers. I mean, or it's not even a double-edged sword. It's just like, it's not what you think. You know, it's not the win. It's not the W you think it is, because this just means killers are gonna bring more Gen Regression. You know, what you need to do is keep these perks how they are and buff the weaker perks. You know, like I don't know how many freaking perks, the hundreds of perks in the game that are completely not viable whatsoever. Yeah, buff those, make them viable, and then we'll get some more variety, you know. But if you keep those perks as bad as they all are, then these are still going to be the only perks you see. Does behavior not understand this? Like, that's why these perks have a such high pick rate, because not because they are, like, really strong, just all the other shit is just really ass. That's why everyone's picking this shit. It's not because it's just busted, broken, this, that, and the third. I mean, I don't hear anyone complaining about Deadlock, dude. Who was bitching about Deadlock? What? I don't know, dude. I really don't know. Hey, at least Buckle Up got nerfed. That's a good thing. Background player got buffed, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, I see this as a buff. It's just something I'm going to have to worry about more often, because usually when I see a background player, someone uses it, I don't really have to worry about it for a while, you know, but now, or even if they get the save, you know, but now like this is easy recovery if they get the save. Like they could probably run you for a little cool 20 seconds, then boom, the person just has it again. But going on a 40-second extra long chase after a save like that, that's like not really realistic unless you're ass at looping. But now like 20 seconds, sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can manage that with like threatening a pallet save on top of that. They can buy themselves more and more time if other teammates are involved. Yeah, dude, this is like something you're going to have to constantly worry about if someone brings it. It's way, in my opinion, it's way worse. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm telling you now, on open maps like Coldwind, this is going to suck. I'm telling you now, when there's not really like a wall you can face, and they can like make really good distance, but if you commit to the person with it to like stop them from using it, they're basically going to get the save under your nose. So you're going to lose that. Then you have to chase someone that may not even be injured. Like this presents so many issues. I don't like background player. I'm going to be honest. I don't like this perk at all. But hey, it is what it is, dude. Let me know y'all's thoughts overall. I don't think it's the worst update ever. I mean, I really don't. I'm happy with it, you know, like of course I have some complaints. I have some critiques. I mean, that's only natural. But overall, I mean, I'm not super upset about it. I'm more curious to see how this is going to play out. I mean, I'm curious to see how this invocation perk is going to work and if we're going to see it a lot, because I feel like if I was a survivor and I play like with a Swift or something, dude, I would tell someone, or at least myself bringing, or have someone on my team bringing this shit every single match. Seems like, dude, if you're a trapper and you're just in the time it takes to set up, they're going to pull this shit off. Are you kidding me? That's easy. That's free 10% on all gens. Like, are you? Yeah, that's really good. Background play. I'm curious to see how people are going to use that now. Buckle up. I don't have to worry about that anymore, which is fantastic. That's absolutely awesome. But some of these gem regression, we may see DS a little less, but we're still going to see it. Let's be honest. I don't know if this is going to, I don't know how this is going to impact the game. I got to play it, dude. I got to play it. So, yeah, but I really do want to know y'all's thoughts. Let me know what y'all think. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay healthy. Peace.